Hi everyone, welcome back to The Sims 4 Trophy Hunt for Mighty Change and most interesting sim in the world. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build on this property a little bit here because simply is the first part requires you to have it does require you to have, why did I do that? But it makes you have 15 pieces of art. So what I'm doing, I'm taking this and I'm building trying to build me. Let me start where I need to be. And this is simply, I'm building a really large basement area. This is simply, I'm going to need this later on for certain things. So of course, now I build my nice little home. Again, I start in that back corner and simply is, I'm building a nice home. I'm gonna go do that, then I'll make it like an L-shaped home and build a nice little rectangle here. And this is simply, what do you mean I can? It shows I can. Thank you. So again, I'll keep doing this to build the home up to about 3 stories. And then I'll show you. And what I build up 3 stories, then I'll show you what I kind of do to build this, make this property. As you can see, that did not line up, did it? No, it did not. This is the only problem when you build larger homes. Keep in mind, sometimes it's hard to see where this stuff is placed. That simply is. The camera really can be a butthole at times. I had to go all the way around because I think that wall was a little inward. It looked a little inward, and of course it was. There's a reason. That's a word. And it looks to be not only inward, but a little outward too. So I could easily do this one of 2 ways. So what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to extend that back wall to the right distance. But this wall is so much simpler. I could simply enlarge the bottom to match the top. Now I could do the same thing here, of course, or simply what is, I don't want my lot out so far because I do want to put a nice kind of front deck in. So now we are lined up, and we will, of course, like I said, build another one. Do I wish there was a fast way to do this? Of course I do. But as far as I know, there's not. There are, of course, style rooms. Why I will not take a style room is simply I need to do as much as possible to get this build up as fast as possible. And what I'm going to use for that, the rest of that outer lot is simply get a lot of stuff that's worth a lot of money for landscaping. So this completes the home going up. Do I want to add anything else? Of course I do. I want to add a nice little deck in front and a nice little deck on the side there. And the one in the front is going to be a little small, but all this one on the front serves as is a nice little front porch. Well, I extend it outwards, so of course I'll extend it outwards. And this is simply by extending it outwards, I could put columns there and build up the foundation. Well, I'll do this back here as well, of course, but this one will be a lot, not too terribly big, but a lot larger. And simply is, I need that stuff. So before I go extend any further, I want to make sure I put a raise on my foundation. Yay. So the first part of this, as you've seen, requires me to put in 15 pieces of art. Does this sound like a problem? It may, unless you know what you're doing. It really does not. So what you want to do, keep in mind, you want the most expensive thing. What I do to make sure it's pieces of art as I come to paintings of posters, I simply go to the bottom. And here, what I do here is find where you could do it at. Is just buy these really large pieces of art. These are worth $8,000 a piece, so they bring up the value of the home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Do they all look the same? Yes. Do I give a crap what my Sims think of them? Of course I don't. That's simply they're helping me get my trophy, helping me get this aspiration. So now you want to know what I do. What I do is I'm going to go to live mode. This is simply to see what the next part of this is, as I now know that is done. As you see, the home is worth at least $100,000. So what I need is $5,000 worth of landscaping. This may seem like an extraordinary task. It is not. It simply is you got options when it comes to landscaping that don't take up a lot of room, and simply is they do add property value. First, what I do is I start off very basic. I come to this garden planter box, which is worth 200 simoleons, and simply start placing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 is of course 1,000 simoleons. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what I'll do is build this out the rest of the way, like so. Try to add, make sure they match, so you know you got plenty of room to do it. And once I do this, I will see where I'm at. So this is free. 699 times 2, of course, is $1,800. Not something like this. So you're wondering, how do we fulfill? But we want to make sure we're at the right amount. Then we will wonder, how do you get the rest? You may wonder. As we've seen, I'm actually wrong, and it's worth $3,600. Of course I was wrong. I figured that mouse sounded wrong. So I only need a few more. Hundreds. That's simoleons to fulfill this part of it. How do you do it? It is simple. I don't want to keep doing those. Those suckers are doing pretty nice, aren't they? Of course they are. But there are, if you're wondering, are there other options? Of course there are. And simply what I'm doing, this is not worth a whole lot. It is worth 20 more simoleons. And why do I do that? You wonder. But this one is the one I'm looking for. It's worth a lot more. So what I do is just come across like this and place a whole bunch of these. And this is simply this. This is an easy alternative. Are there higher expensive trees? Yes, but they of course do take up a lot of room. And simply is, I won't probably need the rest of this room. Yes, I will. And this is why I'm glad it's going so smoothly on this. Is it simply helps me. Of course, the more I place, the more better it is. Did the 5,000 pop? Of course it probably did. Sadly, do I want to keep all that? No, I do not. Of course not. Sorry, because of course I can't build the back steps. So we are, of course, now we need the windows. So what I do now is I simply come back here. First thing I do, of course, is start getting rid of all these little shrubs, because they just serve their purpose. Is there a faster way to build up your home value? Of course there are. I will do that in that basement that I so nicely put down there. And I will put a few little features in that as well, and that is simply is there are some nice ways to bring up the value of your home and also make it where your sim could do those other parts as you go for this trophy, and that is simply to get his money. So do I need to take out all these? Not really. They do add, of course, value to the property. So what I'm doing, as you're seeing, is I'm moving them around, and this allows me to place my step in that area back there for that back lot. Do I want to move this one over? Yes, of course. That don't look right. That one don't look right either. I do try to match them up. I will do this, of course, periodically. This one don't look lined up now with that one. Then that. As such, do that. Now, these are other ones I could easily place the 3 of them, but I do not need to, so I will get rid of these 3. Now, while I'm doing this, I might as well start building the home proper. So what we're going to do now is we're going to simply start partitioning off rooms. So what I'm going to do on this floor is just simply is I'm going to add a nice little bathroom and do a nice little 2-parter over here, and this is simply a kitchen and a nice dining room. The kitchen will probably be the larger of the 2, as the dining room don't need as much space. Now, over here, I got these nice little spots. So what we do, we take that, and I will knock that wall out, of course, as I won't need it. This just simply allows me to put in a bedroom and our master bedroom, bathroom. Add in another bathroom, like so, a little larger, yes, and then another, extend it out like this, and do, except I don't want that too, I want this too, and this is simply is, this allows me to create a nice little bath. Again, I will have to come back and edit the walls. And of course, that will probably include knocking out this little wall, so it won't be needed. Well, I'll keep the rest of that space, of course. It does give me a lot of room. And up here simply is, I need and I said nice bathroom. So downstairs, the basement, I do want to create me a nice little, what I'm doing down here is simply placing a nice little smaller but useful bathroom. Now, I did say I had stuff I gotta knock down because simply was certain areas extended out too far. Do I have to look for these? Of course I do, because I cannot remember where they were. Sorry, one was right here. Does it look funny? Of course it does. So, this is simply what I'm doing there so it looks smoother. Again, I created a very nice bathroom back in the back there. Like I said, a very large one that simply is. It will be, of course, if I went for triplets, this floor would be perfect to do a nice kids area. For the moment, it will serve its own little purpose in my game, and I simply will. I will place a lot of objects up there. So what I'm after now, of course, is windows. Can I do these, you ask, before you do anything else? And of course, the answer is simply yes. However, I probably won't, as I do want to do certain things first. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to add a nice fencing along that front porch. But first, I almost forgot to do this. I don't know if I raised this up at all. I do need, yes it is. So what I want to do now, of course, I want to add in some staircases. You ask, whoa, why do you do that? Well, simply is. Ooh, it's fancy. It's a very expensive case. Now on these, I used to be like, probably a lot of you, I'm like, how do you, because a lot of times I do this, and my little fence there will not come out. How you do that, make sure, I'll showcase this better off this next one. What I'm doing is making a really nice large stair. So how did I do that, you asked? This, I admit, took me a little while to learn this. When you place this, make sure it's up all the way. So you could do it there, but what you want to do is go for there. And this simply does create a word. It's not nice little break in the wall. So I'm doing that one the same way. Now both of these, of course, will serve their purpose in regards to columns. One will be a little different than the other. So this front one is going to go with the most expensive column. It says this house is going to try to be its own little style of house. What I'm going to do is try to place these just right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. As you see, I only need 4 more columns. Is there a column specifically one I will use? And of course the answer is yes. And this is to match the rest. Then I'm going to put in these illuminating pillars. And this is simply this does, I believe, these have light. As well, what that allows you to do, of course, is, you guessed it, make it where you have lighting out here. Did I want to do it that way? Not necessarily, but does it hurt to do it that way? Of course not. Yes, well, every little bit does add more value to your home. So what I'm going to do over here is put in these. Do I want a Victorian roof line? No, that is actually not. Yeah, but this was what I was after. But this don't look right. There's another thing, and I forget where these are at. So that's what I'm looking for now. I thought that's where it was at, but I thought there was something with that. Fringes and exterior trim. This, I believe, is what I've... Actually, I think it is these. So I want 8. Does sound nice, but of course I want the most expensive. I could go with either one. This may look better, serve my needs better. How you do these is simply is you do this. You just do the same over here, and this will add a nice little, or it should. A nice little layer of elegance to your nice home here. So now I gotta come back to these railings for this part. And again, there's some nice railings, but what I'm after is, of course, the most expensive one, because simply is they add up. All this expensive stuff adds up. Again, simply adds more value to the homestead. So now I'm almost done with this part. So next thing I'm doing is adding my fencing. Does the fencing, you ask, cost more money? And of course the simple answer is yes. 80, 120. 120 does sound nice, and you should see my value just went down. So keep this in mind, that 120 sounds really nice, and we will go with this and simply pick one that kind of matches the rest of the little property. Now to show a little bit of change, I could simply go with that other one. We will see the differences in this fencing as I place it on the other half of the... No, I did want this one still. And this is simply place that on this other part of this lot, and this just simply is I want to do this. Just that what I'm doing here is also seeing the differences, and of course the property. You see, this one is alright. It would be good for an outer wall, or simply over an Oasis Springs. This matches most of the homes and all over there. So there we go. We got a nice little fence line around the steps. So how I'm gonna probably do this now that I'm looking at videos is simply do the exterior first, or try to, and then what the other video do. The next video, what I'm going to do is also place one over here, and the next video will showcase the actually placing of the stuff, because simply it does take a while to do this, as you may notice. And this is simply you do gotta have a nice expensive home, so keep that in mind. And there's something I will do with the roof as well. There's nice little things you got to the roof, and this does again help you build up the value of your property. Some of these objects, will they serve a dual purpose? Of course they will. Some will also help you finish the next part of the mansion baron aspiration. Well, not necessarily that part, but whatever little trait you pick to replace that, or not trait, aspiration, will have its own little task, so keep that in mind. And you'll note this when I do the nice little thing for my nice little other part. Now, as you see, the camera's decided, you know what, we're going to make you do what we want you to do, and not what you're trying to do here. There's a camera, one of the worst features in this game. Of course it does. When you're trying to build a home, it is simple. A large home, it really gives you a lot of trouble. I'm sad to say this is true for this. I do love this game though, so don't think but that do love this game though, and I just simply don't worry about it. Will I change this roof a little bit? Of course I will. First thing I'll do, of course, is lower roofs. And what you do when you lower the roofs, keep in mind you want to try to keep, if you're trying to keep this the same, when you lower that one, of course you should lower this one as well. And this is simply, it makes this fit a lot better. Does this look like it needs to come in a little further? Of course it does, so it will. That's just simply there. Now we have a nice looking home roof. And you see there is another roof we still need to add. And this is simply this front roof. Well, I'd make another change to this. Of course I will. So what I'm going to do is, this is why I extended this roof the way I did. This is why I placed the property as I seen. I could do two options. So I could do that, or I could just simply extend the roof. And what I'm going to do now is bring out the roof to there and see what it looks like. Now it looks pretty nice. So here's how you make your roofs a little different. Is simply do this, and this gives you a nice little slant to your roof. Now the roof though does look a little high, so I'm bringing it down a little bit like so, and now we have a nice little porch roof. So the next little feature I'm going to do before I do the, no, I did not mean that found, before I do the windows and such, I'm going to do this. And what I'm going to do is I'll pick that nice large square, and simply is I want to really add this. Now here is another inconvenience. Remember when I said about this mailbox earlier? As you see, it is now at the back of the lot. It loves the backyard. I'm on the back of this lot. I do not know why, but it does. Keep this in mind when you build on this. And if you do, and this simply is, this again is, of all the open lots, this is the largest one that it does not have anything on it. There are some that are larger, and those are 50 by 50, but those have homes on them. Keep that in mind as well. This is simply the largest unpopulated lot on the game. This, of course, really is a nice place to build your nice little dream mansion. And when I did this, did I notice something? Maybe you've noticed it. It's simply that back wall is now a little larger than the rest. This is a problem, of course not. I will simply bring all this up like so, and I will start reducing this wall. And as I see, there is this same problem on my little kitchen unit or so. Now, you know, actually looking at this would be simpler to bring this back out. Do this all the way around. This being its own little room, I have to do it separate. And this, of course, as a see, there is a problem with those eaves. So I do want to keep that in mind. Now, these eaves being the way they are, there's two ways to fix them, and the simpler way is just to simply tuck. No, not replace wall. I just simply take this little button here and tuck that even like so. That's just simply already did the top part. I don't need to do that part as well. So now what I'm doing is I'm picking a nice roof pattern. This doesn't matter, no, but it does really make the house shine. So I got an idea. I guess I go with this, and then I'll pick a nice reddish, and this is simply gives me some elegance to the home as we are creating. Now we go, of course, go add the doors and windows, and of course, before I do that, I want to add, before I do anything else, I want to add more stairs. And these stairs, of course, are understandable. Where I'm placing them, that is inside, simply inside the homestead. First, I'm doing the basement, and that is a nice stair. As long as that stair didn't just mess me up, it did, of course. So what I gotta do is come in and place it. I could easily place it along this wall. This will take out some of those nice paintings, though. Keep that in mind. But do I care? Not really. It shouldn't take out a lot. Just those right there, and I can always replace them. It's only two, though. I don't have to worry why I want to. I simply can't extend that stair. Why? Yeah, I wonder, and why again? Where's my stair? It is still outside the property line, so I need to keep this in mind. So the easier way would be about right in the middle there. Did it put my paintings back? Of course it did. So again, we will try this once again. So we're just going to try to do about in here. We know, of course, that that should be there now. And of course it is. So what do you wonder I'm going to do now? I'm going to simply put these in up there to every floor. Create me a nice little stairwell system that's going into place around the lot. And this should be, of course, the last one. As under this, there's no up above that. There's simply no more. So again, we're going to go with this nice expensive little thing here, and we will simply do these like so. And that is all my stairs. So now we will do the doors as well as that. So I got options here. First thing I want to do, of course, don't want to change this a little bit. Yeah, of course. I want to make these larger. Simply, these bottom walls are simply going up as high as they can get. And this is simply is, I want the best doors possible for the bottom. 495, and of course I just found out these walls don't have to worry about this because it's, believe it or not, those are not the most expensive doors. The most expensive doors are simply at the medium level. Should I do this for the whole thing? You wonder. You don't have to. This is simply the front. This is where the front door is. And when I tried to pick there just now, it just said, you know what, no. So you got a few in this. Like I said, this is a nice $600 door. And it could go in right here. As well as off that nice little back one you've done. And this just adds a touch of elegance to this same spot. Because these, of course, they are kitchens and stuff. But would you want that in the bathroom? Of course you want it. So you find a nice, expensive door. There's one here that does not have windows. I want to find. It's called the plain wooden door. As that is the Stark front door. I don't know why it's not called the Lannister. Says that's not the Game of Thrones humor. Now what this nice door does, it serves its purpose and going on the rest of the property. Now as I see, I did extend this into this nice little thing into a 2-bathroom connecting. This is a problem. Not really when you think about it, as simply as their Sims. Until they're comfortable with each other, will not use the same bathroom. It's a pain in the butt. Yes, of course it is. So what I'm going to do is this lower level, I'm going to pick these nice large medium-sized windows. Keep this in mind. They go with a medium thing. So I want some nice medium windows. There's a few. That one over there was 250. That's 225. But that is an arch-looking thing. These are, of course, the best, and these are simply is the lofty looker is 300 some bucks. Keep in mind, you probably don't want these type near your bathrooms. Simply, well, personally, my Sims don't care. They're showcasing the jaw for the world to see. Do they really? I don't know. I just make it a joke. And when I get to one of these windows, I may again stop the video. I'll make a start a new one. This is simply is. It does, as you see, it does take a while to build a home, especially when you gotta go for certain ideals. Do I want to place a lot of windows? Of course I do, but I do not need to necessarily do them all at the ground level. As simply is, I do need to do the next part. Can this possibly give me what will happen? And what we will do, we will play. Why I'm doing this at the end of this video is simply is this, of course, will give me my 30 windows, and that will may get the next part, which will be 20 columns. And when I get to 20 columns, all I need is, oh, but wait, will the value of the home, yes, be enough? I simply don't know. So what I do now is I take them smaller windows, like so, And what you want to try to do, at least I try to, is find something that matches those nice bottom windows that just place. So simply is. These kind of are the same. You could, of course, go with bay windows, but you also got this, the looker. Now, of course, this is better, but I did do the looker down below. I do want to match the pattern, of course. So what I do is I'll start with this wall. And as you see, this sometimes happens. You may ask why. Yes, what happened here is if you place a wall or stuff along this, keep in mind that they may be areas you cannot simply do the same thing. Now there are areas, of course, where this is hard to do, and this is simply right in here. As you see, I got a nice roof. I may not even be able to place a door or window through here. We will see. It simply is that floor below. It's not going to have no windows here, and this is simply is. It's just not go have no windows as that top. Of course, it's going to act up on me because I'm trying to fulfill this. So what I'm trying to do now is simply is, and I can't believe I can't do this. As you see, I cannot place, whatever reason, I could do one there. As such, I wonder if I can't do one there. So simply adds just those little windows like this up there. As you see, did we miss a floor? More likely, yes. That's just simply the way the roof is in front. This is a problem, not necessarily. And again, it does add a certain uniqueness. I don't know what's causing all this different glare. Of course, I will want to change that when I'm doing the inside of the home. Only simply is I need light, and I will have to change the time of day to really. That's just simply gives you a much better aspect of how those look. I always try to switch to the night, as that's the latest hours on the game. Well, I haven't. As you see, this is along a wall, so I can't do that one. And keep that in mind when you place walls. The windowsill can be affected by this. There's supposed to be a room way to do this. I simply do not have never figured out how to do it, and so as such, I do it this way. This makes it a little harder to line them up, but with luck you can. As you see, there are windows I could place up there, but I'm not going to worry about it. But keep in mind, this is also, if you're a curator stuff, there is collectible spots around this property. At least one that I know of, and that is simply go be I'll showcase this. It's near this little thing that's coming to my right. Does that Eve there extend out? Of course, it looks like it does. Am I going to worry about a no? Because simply is why. Keep doing that, you may just keep messing your roof up over and over and over, and why worry about that, huh? Well, need to worry about this little dig pile? Of course not, because this is simply not a curator family, nor will it be a curator family. These guys are simply helping me get trophies. They know their purpose. Do they care? And of course they don't. They're Sims. And that dig spot, of course, is right through here. That I know. There may be more. And as you will see, kids come and play on this little, nice little pirate ship. This can be entertaining. So as I said, I will go back to live mode at this point to check how my aspiration hunt is going. And as I find out, it could easily be almost done, as you see, and this is simply is, and Destiny to bring the home up the rest of the way to 350. This will not take long, as the bottom floor does have an interesting purpose that will go in there and really raise the value of the home. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button. This has been part 2 of the hunt for most interesting sim in the world and my Youth Change trophies.